All right, folks, it is Geekdom Q&A time. Thanks once again for joining me here as I read your questions from the old Ask FM. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. First question here, and it's quite the doozy. Why is For Never World such an asshole who uses clickbait and never researches? Welcome to YouTube. His titles are like OMFG, Naruto is dead, and Boruto the movie. I just unsubbed from all anime reviewers who use clickbait and intentionally create controversy. Well, that's quite a long list. I'm glad you are an ugly scumbag. Well, I'm definitely very good looking. Keep being awesome. From Trent Dooster. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. Thank you very much. And you're right. I totally, absolutely, positively hate these clickbait YouTubers. But I've gone on record about that many times, especially off air. Those of you who know me off air know how much I despise it. Do y'all think in Chi-Chi's prime she could beat Mr. Satan in his prime? I think so after watching Dragon Ball and also seeing her train Goten. If she can survive a punch from a Super Saiyan, then go toe-to-toe against a powerful Saiyan hybrid, she could mop the floor with I guess you mean Mr. Satan. I think so, in fact. I agree. I agree with you. I think maybe she got a little bit weaker because she became a mother and kind of got domesticated. But all things considered, I do think she would kick Satan's ass, honestly. Some might not agree with that because he is pretty powerful, but I think she could. For a human, that is. Do you think if Goku continued to train Super Saiyan 3, do you think he could maintain his power? I would say yes. It would probably take years and years. I do think he could have. However, by the time that he unlocked some of the stronger forms, whether you go with the GT or with the new movies, it doesn't matter. There was really no need. However, it did surprise me that, GT takes place 15 years after Kid Buu is dead. 5 years after the end of Z, and he still didn't I guess he kind of did master it, but he had a smaller body. You would think he would have been able to figure things out faster, but I think so. I think he could have. Do you think you can bring hype for the revival of the 5 missing Harmony Gold episodes, like how Rebel Taxi brought up hype for Dexter's rude removal? I know exactly what you're talking about, the Dexter's thing. You gotta look that one up, guys, about the Dexter's Laboratory. Mike from Laughingstock filled me in on that. As far as the 5 missing Harmony Gold episodes, for those who don't know, and I will do a video about this, probably a Dragon Ball in-depth, the Harmony Gold dub was the dub that the US got in the very, very early 90s, late 80s Dragon Ball. But the thing about the Harmony Gold dub is that there's 2 movies and allegedly 5 episodes, which is what he's talking about. The 2 movies can actually be found on YouTube. They dubbed the first movie, which is known in this country as Curse of the Blood Rubies. I don't know what they called it in Harmony Gold. I don't remember off the top of my head. And the third Dragon Ball movie, which is Mystical Adventure, they were both dubbed. And put together into one movie. However, allegedly, reportedly, there are 5 episodes of Dragon Ball that Harmony Gold actually did dub, and they aired them in very, 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 very limited test markets. I've never seen them before, ever in my entire life, not even a clip. So we don't even know if they even exist, to be honest. But what can I do? I mean, I have to get a lot bigger, but even if I did, I mean, I don't know what the hell. I don't even know how to even contact Harmony Gold. Chances are they're either been destroyed or they're in somebody's basement or something, in some warehouse somewhere maybe. That's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up. How do Saiyans eat in their spaceships, or do you think they're hibernating in them? Good question. I think that in their ships, I think, and I don't know, I think if it's a long quest, like one from, I don't know, from Earth to wherever the hell Vegeta and Nappa were, I do think that maybe they have a big meal before they come. In Dragon Ball, both the manga and the anime, we don't actually see them eat on the way to Earth. Maybe they did it off screen, or maybe they have, like you said, some kind of way they can hibernate for a year. I do not know. There's no actual explanation. I'm gonna guess they eat in the spaceships, but again, would they just stop on some random planet? You know what? I changed my mind right now on the air. Change my mind. I think they just go to sleep for a long time. They're able to do that. Do you think nitpicking series could take away from the fun of the show, like how absorbing androids, how come they could come out of the body if the upper body's been blown off? You're talking about Cell. He's talking about the fact that when Goku does the warp Kamehameha, and blows off the top of Cell's body, how is it possible that 18 could have been spat out? And I can definitely tell you that nitpicking a series could take a little bit of the fun out of it, but you have to make sure that when you nitpick it in kind of a fun way and still enjoy the series. I've nitpicked Dragon Ball. Pretty much every YouTuber that covers Dragon Ball and anybody in the community has nitpicked it from time to time because it's not a perfect series at all. But what is, really? And it could take away from the fun, but the reality is that we all love it. My explanation for this is that I think that when 18 was in Cell's body, that she was shrunk really, really small. But that's me literally pulling that out of my ass right now. Not literally, because there's nothing in my ass except maybe shit. Was the word ki or Zenkai boost ever referenced as a word in the whole of the series? Or was it how it was mentioned in the game's encyclopedia? You gotta watch the Japanese version, folks. This thing would have been easily answered if you watched the Japanese version. Yes, the word ki is used constantly. Energy is key. Whenever you hear energy in the dub, it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be key. Even though they do say energio, there is a difference, of course. As far as Zenkai boosts go, the closing theme to Dragon Ball Z, the first one is called Dete Koi Tobi Kiri Zenkai Power, which translates to something to the effect of come out full force power, which Zenkai means full force. I might do a video about that as well one of these days, which, you know, that's what it means, Zenkai. Now, Zenkai boost, however, those two words put together, never. That's a fan-made term, and I actually believe that QAAMAN credits himself as coming up with it. I don't know about that one. Maybe. Do you think Super Saiyan Goku Jr. could beat Goku Red Ribbon? According to Vegito 1089, Red Ribbon Goku is stronger. I disagree with Vegito 1089. I like Vegito 1089. I've talked to him a couple times. He's kind of a funny guy, but I don't agree with all of his power levels at all. If you watch his Rocky power level, he put Clubber Lang below Rocky and below Apollo. He put it below Rocky and Apollo. And no. Clubber Lang's way stronger than both of them. He just punched himself out. And hence Rocky won the fight. So no, I think Goku Jr. getting the SSJ boost, I think could have beaten Red Ribbon Army Goku. Yes. King Piccolo is the bad side of Kami, and that makes him a demon. So does that mean his reincarnation turning good means Piccolo is not a demon? That's a question for an entire video, but the short answer is that from the way I've always taken it, is that Demon King Piccolo, Piccolo Daimao, is a demon. However, the reincarnation of Piccolo, even though it is a reincarnation, it is not the same person. However, Piccolo Jr. does retain the same memories. It's a little bit of a tricky thing here to explain, but just go with it. That Piccolo Jr. and Piccolo Sr. are not the same person. Piccolo Jr. was born driven for revenge, but after a while, because he has his own spirit, his own soul, he can change, and he did change, and that to me is the best way to put it. You know, by that time, I don't think that the half evil, half good thing kind of applied. It's kind of similar to what happened with Boo later in the series. So that's the way I always saw it. And Piccolo Jr., I would not classify as a demon, even though he does refer to himself as Piccolo, Demon King Piccolo, and as a demon or a member of the Demon Clan a few times in Dragon Ball Z. So there you go. What do you care for more, strong characters or good story? Good story. I could give a fuck less about strong characters because I watch fiction all the time that has regular people in it. I want a good story. What did you think of the multi-form technique, then the fusion dance tower earring with yourself? Or what if you did? What if you did it? Remember, the fusion multiplies your power a lot. I don't know how you're able, and that's Malachi, stop stalking. I don't know how the hell you're able to fuse with yourself, bro. I don't see how that's even possible. Even with the multi-form technique, I mean, that's a good question now that I think about it. If you do the multi-form technique and then you fuse, I don't think it would work. Honestly, I do not think that it would work. If you tried it, I think it wouldn't work. You would just become the same thing you were from the start. So I don't think it would work. But there's no evidence to prove against that. So, Big D, could you go on this website and give me your opinion? Let's take a look. If I get a virus, it'll be on here. Oh, I've seen this website before. I mean, I can't really give you my opinion right now, but hey, there's your plug right there. I have to go. I need more time to look through it. Did you know that Piccolo's blood... Let me close that out. Did you know that Piccolo's blood changed from color in Dragon Ball and was red in DBZ and was purple? Yes. Hey, Geekdom. Oh, this fucking guy. When Broly went SS3 in my fanfiction, he was able to kill Whis in 2 seconds after spending 1.99 screaming Kakaroto. I just felt like sharing because it was the greatest fat material of all time. Also, when you are doing a DB in-depth on how awesome Broly is, never. Never doing it. Hey, Big D, I really want to say I like all of your videos and appreciate that you're trying to educate many of those in our fan base ignorant of the original Japanese. And that's the thing, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, you know, the whole sub versus dub thing. I might do a video on that. You know, there needs to be some real peace in the community amongst this. But one thing I will say is that if you have not seen the Japanese version, you need to watch it at least once so that you understand what was screwed up. So... you're doing a service to us all. This is probably the same fucking guys before. Also, what if SS4 Broly went to the future and fought Metal Beerus on the moon of Endor? Well, if you knew anything about Star Wars, you poser, you would know that the Star Wars took place in the past. A long time ago in the galaxy far, far away. So guess what, bro? Endor probably doesn't even exist anymore. And if it did, I'm sure Metal Beerus would have blown it up by now. Why don't you answer my questions? I asked 57 of them in the past hour. None of them have been answered. I want to know if Broly could turn SS5 and see why kids love the flavor of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Well, could Broly go SS5? No, because he's dead. And why do kids love the flavor of Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Because that shit's fucking good. You should try it sometime. You poser. These nuts writes, I'm having a debate about Superman Prime versus Whis. This again. In the beginning, it was about Superman Prime versus Goku, covered down the last QNA. I eventually convinced this dude that Superman Prime would utterly rape Goku, but then he started saying Whis would win. Who do you think would win? He's put think twice. I say Superman Prime beats Whis easily. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Superman Prime beats Whis. We haven't seen enough of Whis, but I agree. If two Mr. Satans fuse with the fusion dance, you think he could beat Demon King Piccolo? No. This is Goku versus Superman. Don't skip. Fucking Superman questions. That's okay. I'm going to answer them. Please correct me if I'm wrong. On Namek, it took Krillin a couple of hours to get to Gurus. I'm going to assume 5. Now, light travels at 67,068 miles per hour. 5, we get through the $5. By the way, I got light speed through Goku avoiding the solar flare. I don't really... Where's the question at, though? I don't know where the question is. Reword it and resend it, bro. During a Tenkaichi Budokai in power scaling. Oh, here's the second part. Oh, fuck. Okay. Anyway, it is stated in the manga that Goku traveled halfway across Namek in under a second. If we assume that Guru is also halfway across Namek, Goku traveled in that in under a second. I'm not sure Superman has done something similar or not. Part 2. This is from Jared, by the way, and there's a third part. Please tell me if he has. I'm actually not sure because I have not read every Superman comic, but I know that some of the higher power Superman can do that. It might be a question for Duct Tape from Comic Corner. You might want to go ask him. Go check out the Comic Corner. Continuing, Goku did all that before Super Saiyan and trying. Then we take everything else to account of power scaling and SSJ plus SSJ transformation. I'd say Superman can't even touch Goku. In terms of durability, though, Superman previously took 17 supernovas. You're right. It's hard for me to answer this question. This is one of those analysis things that's going to take a long time. It's not a quick answer. And I would have to do a lot of research. In my experience, though, I'm just going to tell you in my experience. I've read some Superman. I am not in any way a Superman expert. I think Superman pre-52 taking 17 supernovas is impressive. I think SSJ, SSG God Goku or SSJ God SS Goku would beat him. But that being said, I also will say that Prime would beat Goku. So there you go. Now this is one I can sink my teeth through. What do you think my teeth into? Excuse me. What do you think? Cell versus Ultron. That's a great question. That is a tough question because Ultron, especially when Ultron got more and more powerful in the comic. Oh, wait a minute. There's more from Jared up here. Jeez, Jared, you. All right, I'll get back to those in a minute. Anyways, wow. All right. As far as Cell versus Ultron, that's a great question because Ultron will have those clones of himself, but Cell would have the Cell Juniors. I think, based upon everything I've seen, that the Cell Juniors are more powerful than the clones. So that would kind of lead me to believe that Cell himself is more powerful than Ultron. But this is a very, very good question, mostly because. So Ultron, I think, is a little underrated in power, even though he was kind of a bitch in the movie. I don't think they actually really captured the real Ultron. So, but I'm still gonna go with Cell. I think, especially if it's Super Perfect Cell, I think Super Perfect Cell would have blown him away. It's very hard to compete with Dragon Ball characters in other universes unless we're talking about like cosmic beings and things like that. Let's get back to Jared's question. And didn't break a sweat. I have an example of not Goku, but Vegeta taking something such more than that. Again, correct me. Cell said he could easily destroy a solar system. A supernova can do that also. Cell did say that, but I don't know about easily. I don't. A lot of people assume that when Cell said he could destroy a solar system, that he could do it in one blow. I don't think that's what he meant. I think he would have to go to each planet one by one and blow them up. That's the way I've always seen it. I don't think he could do it right off, one shot. Also, we can assume that Kamehameha could do the same. Then through scaling, Kid Buu chucked 20 to 50. 20 to 50. I don't really know what that means. I don't know what you mean by that, bro. This is when Vegeta fights Buu, and Buu makes like 50 clones of himself, and they fire Kamehameha or something similar. Ah, okay. Buu is in control of his power and focuses on Vegeta. Well, Buu's very special. Those should each have the power of a supernova, and Vegeta is insanely weaker than Buu and stands up. Oh, it just keeps going from here. Let me go up. After taking that, but it is not badly hurt. This means that at this point, Goku can take in base form about 100. Since base form after Buu Saga equals SSJ3 and Buu Saga, correct me if I'm wrong. No, I don't believe this is the case at all, actually, but we don't really know. I don't think that's right. I don't think Goku in his base form could beat SSJ3 Goku in the Buu Saga. I don't see that at all being the case. Maybe in Fakatsu no F. Maybe. Now, SSG gives mystic power, which Supes is weak and multiplies. Well, we don't know if Superman is weak to mystic power. Are you talking about magic? That was in the video games and stuff like that. But mystic power is not... God power is not magic power. I don't think they go... That's the same thing. Let me go ahead and close these out, by the way. Now, my question, the next part 6. Okay. I'm not sure this isn't... Vegeta took the clones... okay, question. Based on the evidence, who do you think would win? Sorry for the long... I kind of already answered that earlier in the Q&A. It was very long, bro. That kind of question is more of like an email question or something. That's way too big for this. Or maybe you should make your own video about it, because it's a good question. I already kind of answered it earlier. How strong do you think Beerus and Whis are like? What's their max destructive capabilities? Sun, Solar System, multi-solar system, galaxy. There's no way to tell. We do know, based on Battle of Gods, it is said in the trailer... I think it was in the movie as well, that Beerus could destroy an entire solar system, like, quickly. Unlike Cell, he could do it quickly. Does that mean he can destroy a galaxy? Probably. I would say maybe not right away, but if he powered up enough, he could probably do it. Maybe not right away. Multi-solar system sounds about correct. Whis can probably do all that plus more. But we have not seen them at their full power, so there's no way to really tell how much they can do. Maybe we will in Dragon Ball Super. Can you say my name properly yet? Tinazel. I don't know. Also, can you check out some of my DBZ art on my Instagram? Playa. It's Tiny Fugitive. Finally, I'm considering doing an illustration for your display pic, bro. So do you have any special quotes that I can put on? Love you, homie, Tinazel. PM me about that. Let's see if we can find this guy here. No, wait, that's ink. Oh, wait. Let's see, right there. Exclusive right here on the Q&A, looking at his Instagram, which is taking a while to load here, which is weird because my internet is fucking blazing. I don't know why it's taking so long to load here. How many fucking pictures do you have on this thing, dude? Where the fuck is it? I'll have to look at it later, bro. I can't be holding up the Q&A. I remember this, though. I'll look at it later. How did Pilaf get a Dragon Radar? I assume that he stole it. What's your favorite type of meal? Cuban food. Oh, I like everything, bro. But preferably one with a lot of food. Brazilian steakhouse, Cuban food, seafood. I like everything, bro. There's very few food that I don't like. As long as it comes in large quantities, I'm down. Favorite chips. Like potato chips. I like, which one do I like? I like Funyuns. I like the kettle corn ones. Those are pretty good. I like the barbecue Lays, but I haven't had those in years. I do like Doritos, especially the non-name brand ones. They usually put more cheese on them. What else do I like? I'm thinking. That's about it, really. Can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Remember, I'm doing these off the hop. I'm not researching any of these or thinking that much into them. Do you smoke? Absolutely not. Never will. Why are there 2 boos? Well, there's more than 2 boos, and that's a question for a video that I will do eventually. I guarantee it. Last question here. Well, I got 2 more. I'll answer these 2 more. Strongest boo is Buhan, right? It's very heavily implied that Buhan is the strongest boo, and that's kind of the way I've always seen it. Super Boo is very strong by himself because Goku freaked out when he was inside of him. So if you add that to the Mystic Power plus Goten plus Trunks plus Piccolo, it's very difficult to say otherwise. I think Buhan is the strongest Boo. Last question. Was Battle of Gods written by Toriyama? Battle of Gods was written by Yusuke Watanabe and Toriyama. So Yusuke Watanabe wrote the original outline. Toriyama came in and made changes, and that's the story of Battle of Gods. Thank you guys once again for tuning into this Q&A. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll catch your ass down the road.